Good day, and welcome back to the podcast Catch It, a New Perception. My name is Ketuk. I invite you to listen to other episodes of this, and I ask that you share this with people that you think could benefit or you think might benefit from the content of this. And if you appreciate it, please subscribe, share it with others, like I said, and give it a thumbs up. Thinking about how moving forward and as we move forward, getting to know our higher selves, or as we have gotten to know our higher selves, whatever progression we're in presently, how is it that we continue to be comfortable in our own skin? And I say that because I think that it's a process. I wasn't always comfortable doing what I'm doing. I haven't always been comfortable in certain situations. And I've been willing to do what I don't want to do. Sometimes I don't want to do things because they're uncomfortable. No, I am. No, I don't want to. No, I'm not going to. And I'm uncomfortable. Is it okay to be uncomfortable in certain situations? And realize that comfortability comes and goes. And if I can stay through the uncomfortable part, can I realize that I'm about to get comfortable by changing who I am, by changing the way that I see the world, by changing the way that I see myself. Maybe I'm not comfortable with the way that I look, the way that I dress, the things that I do. How can I change those things? What is it I can do to be able to be comfortable in any given situation? And allow that to be an asset moving forward. And I say that because I think sometimes it's okay to be uncomfortable. And I talk about this in certain circles as I was comfortable doing certain things that I did before I began this journey of getting to know my higher self. I was comfortable gambling. I was comfortable having a drink, maybe even sitting in the bar, having a few drinks. I was comfortable rolling up a joint in the morning. I was comfortable doing those things. They weren't good for me. And when I stopped doing some of them, I was very uncomfortable because I didn't know what to do. I was a little lost. I hadn't gotten to know my higher self when I wanted to stop doing these things. I was just uncomfortable. So, through this process of being uncomfortable and being okay with it, I found my chair. I'm not comfortable putting myself on camera in these podcasts. I would rather just have a conversation with you, put it up, let it go. There's no editing, you're going to get something very authentic from me. It's easy. I just record something, I put it out, and I hope that people benefit from it. Now, you may be hearing certain things in certain episodes that make you uncomfortable. You may hear me mention certain things that you're not comfortable with. You don't want to hear the subject. You may not want to hear the subject matter. You may not want to hear certain details. And I leave out a fair amount of details. I'm conscious of that. And in doing that, just because I leave out certain details, I try to share my experience in a general way on how I learned to get comfortable and be okay with it. In the same situation where I was uncomfortable, where I didn't know where my chair was, I had disdain for who I was. So it was really easy for me to have disdain for other people and talk down about other people and try to talk myself up when I didn't feel like I was enough. I didn't measure up. I'm not smart enough. I'm not cool enough. I'm not good looking enough. I'm not tough enough. I'm not whatever. You could take whatever word and insert that, and I just didn't feel like I was enough. I didn't measure up. I didn't measure up in my eyes. And what I realize is the more that I do, without arrogance, without conceit, to measure up, with today what I might call pride. Now, there was a time where pride was more of the way that I see arrogance today, or the way I see conceit, or things that aren't necessarily good when it comes to certain things, because I think that when I carry it in a certain way and I become arrogant about something, somehow I'm looking down on someone else, or I'm acting as if I'm better than someone else, or I have an advantage they don't have. Well, here's the reality of it for me, is I think that I'm in better shape than I've ever been. Emotionally, yeah, maybe not physically. I'm an elder to a lot of people, and I am still a youngster to a generation, which is good too. And I realize that everything that I do, I have done to elevate who I am, where I am, what I'm doing. And I want to bring you with me. I don't want to step on someone. I don't want to keep someone down. I don't want to put someone down through that process. I want to be able to elevate myself and then also elevate you, and maybe elevate you beyond me. Just step up, do what you're doing. You're better than I am. You're more talented than I am. You have access I don't. You have resources I don't. Go get it. And if you forget about me, I'm okay. That's okay. I don't want to forget about you. That is the essence of this podcast, in a sense. That I'm not going to forget about who you are as I elevate myself. And if you need to step on me to get where you're going, I'll watch you. I'll watch the show. I might watch you fall. I'll probably also give you a hand to get back up. You see, this is being comfortable in my own skin, is realizing that I will do for you what I can. And in the process, I will do the self-care that I need. I will change my terminology from what it once was. I know at times I've said, I don't want what I deserve in this lifetime, not the way I treated people. I don't want what I once deserved in this lifetime because of the way I treated people at the time, because of the way I treated myself, because of my relationship to the earth and that great mystery. I don't want what I deserved at that time. And the way I continue to change my life. I'm not talking about the way I was 30 years ago and how I changed my life, or how I was 20 years ago and I've changed my life. I'm talking about how I was 5 years ago and I've changed my life. I'm talking about how I was 2 years ago and I've changed my life. That's what I'm talking about. I can continue to get better at what I do. And I will continue to get better at what I do. I work in the entertainment business, and I was talking to a couple different people recently about getting better at what I do. And I've done what I'm doing for almost 35 years in the entertainment business. And I can get better at what I do. Okay? Now, what I'm talking about is being comfortable in my own skin. And I get that maybe some people are, for lack of a better term, are stronger at what they do in the entertainment business than when they're doing the same thing I'm doing. And if I use that term, I'm not the weakest at what I do. I can hold my own. I'm confident. I'm comfortable in my own skin when it comes to the work that I do in the entertainment business. I'm comfortable in my own skin when I sit in the sacred circles that I sit in, and I share what my journey has been up to this point. I'm comfortable in my own skin when I'm authentic on this podcast and I tell you the truth. And I have no idea coming into this podcast, other than having a topic, what part of my journey I'm going to share. I come on to each and every episode with the idea that I'm going to talk in a general way about a specific topic. And today, it's about being comfortable. And is that good? Is there assets and liabilities to everything? I think so. I think about fear, for example. And I've used this example talking with some different people recently in a couple of different venues about fear. And I know some of them, and specifically some friends that belong to 12-step programs will talk about fear. I believe it's right around an inventory step that they talk about, where they're talking about making some lists and some columns, and some fears have to do with that. And they talk about how a fear has been a detriment. A fear was a gift that I was given when I was born, when I came into this lifetime. My spirit guides and the Creator saw that they would gift me fear so I could recognize things. And I talk about not recognizing certain fears in other episodes, and that's been very true in my life. What about when a fear is healthy? I remember when I met this woman, she was talking about, how she had this great joy of sharing something with her son, and thought that it would be a really good time when he was about 17 years old for him to take a helicopter ride and experience something really incredible by going up in a helicopter and flying. And he had fear, and he said, I don't want to. No, Mom, I'm good. Oh, no, you really should. This is a really good experience for you. You'll really appreciate this. And he has fear. And he expresses his fear. And he says, no, Mom, I don't think I should. I don't think I want to. He was uncomfortable. He had fear. And he shared that with her. And she finally convinced him a helicopter ride would be good for him. And it was the last thing he ever did in human form. He took his long journey that day. He had fear. He wanted to live. He didn't know he was going to take his long journey and end this lifetime. His mother didn't know, obviously. What I'm telling you is that fear is healthy. When you get uncomfortable and you have fear, it can be healthy. It can also be a detriment. We need to learn to recognize which is which and how it's an asset, how it's a liability. Maybe it's time to make a written list of certain things, assets and liabilities, the pros and cons, if you will. Be able to make a written list, write it down on paper, get it outside of your head, put it down on paper. Is this a realistic fear? Is this something I need to step back from? Is this something that's holding me back and I should really walk towards it? Like the episode of the buffalo. Walk directly into it and you'll get through it. I think each one of us is a unique manifestation of Creator, and I believe that each one of us have our own journey. Not just that long journey we'll take when we take our last breath in human form. I'm talking about here in human form. Each of us have our own journey. Let's do it with pride, dignity, respect, and love. Let's show others that we are getting to know our higher self. Show others that you continue to catch a new perception and that you will continue to catch a new perception. Looking forward to next time. Live in harmony with and use the bounty of the land to bring kindness to the world. Dok Shao, okay?